in the moments of solitude and boredom, some activities like listening to music or reading books give pleasure to at least my existence. And in a world full of vengeance and hatred and lack of wisdom, lack of intelligence, lack of emotion, reading some books in solitude, it's not only a pleasure but also gives meaning to the time that passes by. I went in a very, very hot weather. I just walked for a couple of hours to buy some books. The first one is No Longer Human. They're in Persian and probably they're censorship. So I asked from large language models who gives me the summary. I'm gonna read them fully and then I'm gonna come back and make one video about those 5 books. But right now I'm gonna make one video for each one of them, just as an introduction, as a presentation of these books. They're about different subjects. The first one is a famous Japanese writer. I got introduced to this Japanese writer. I've heard about him before, but I didn't read any of his books before. And it's called, and even if I did, I don't remember, honestly, because I read a lot of books when I was a teenager. It's 1948, around the time that he suicided. This book got published. He suicided this Japanese writer at the age of 38. I'm not gonna read the Persian translation, but it's called No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. And this is the first book, Osamu Dazai. The second book is from Yanis Varoufakis. I think he was in the government of Greece. He's from I can't say exactly socialist. I'm not sure, but he's from the left political orientation, and he was admired by Noam Chomsky, and he's still admired by Noam Chomsky, the advisor of my advisor, PhD advisor, former PhD advisor. And the book is about how the things that the words with my daughter about economy, from Yanis Varoufakis, and I'm gonna get to it. The third one is Pedro Paramo Juan Rolfo. It's about a man, according to, this is a suggestion of the guy in the bookstore in Tehran, and that I was talking to him and he got interested to talking to me, and I got interested to have a debate with him. And also he suggested me this book. It's from Juan Rolfo, a Mexican Rulfo. It's about a book about a son that he's searching for his father. And the next book is from Ludwig von Mises, about this German guy, about liberalism. What is liberalism? Everything about liberalism. And that's it. And the last one, I was searching for the book of Comandante Ernesto Che Guevara that I read about 20 years ago by Andrew Sankler. I couldn't find it, but instead they just gave me this book, The Guidance, the Handbook of Che, by Hilda Barrio and Garrett Jenkins. Let me check the names in Latin. Hilda Barrio, and the name of the Garrett Jenkins, it's not written exactly in Latin. So it's full of colors. Like this might be, and photos, this might be more interesting for an average reader rather than reading my favorite book of Che, Andrew Sankler, because this is just words. And that's it. Let's start with No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. I'm not going to give away all the story. And what happens in the book, but I'm gonna give you some themes. It's a kind of autobiography, but not exactly. He's talking about a guy. Based on what I've read on the summary of the book, is three phases: the childhood, and then teenagehood, and also when he goes to university, and then adulthood. It's about a guy that hides himself from society because he's broken inside, he's empty inside, he's sad inside, and he puts a mask, and that mask is laughter, comedy. And not only he doesn't let people see through himself, but he can't get connected to people, so he gets into drugs, addiction, alcohol, girls, women, and alienation from society. It's a story of despair. And the writer himself had so many, so it's related to the life of the writer, so many suicide attempts. The question is why. I think Albert Camus, in the myth of Sisyphe, myth de Sisyphe, myth of Sisyphe, I don't know how to pronounce it in English, and in French it's myth de Sisyphe, Sisyphe, je crois. And he says that it's a philosophical book of Albert Camus, and he talks about the first sentences, the most important question in philosophy of life, and life is whether to kill oneself or not, whether we need to kill ourselves or not, whether we need to suicide or not, and in other words, does life worth living? We can get to delusions. Of course, life is full of beauty, and wait until your beloved one's gonna die, and you're gonna lose money and end up on the street. We're gonna ask you the same question: is life beautiful? Or maybe you get bombed, your house get bombed, and you don't have any other houses, or all of your houses get bombed by a enemy in a war. We're going to ask you the same question. Or they sue you and you lose all your money. Then we're going to ask you the same question. Life is beautiful? Yeah. An idiot, a woman, or a man, I didn't care. She was giving a lecture at the University of Southern California in 2015. The last thing that she said, as an idiot, in front of an audience of about 200 people, in an amphitheater, the USC. Life is beautiful, and if you don't have desire to live, you're depressed. First of all, there are positive sides to depression because they feel deeply, and there's extremely negative sides to depression. I'm not going to talk about it, but know if you master your mind and your emotion, you can have no desire to live temporarily, or maybe not for always, and you're not going to be you're not depressed at all at the same time. It's possible that you're not depressed and you don't have any desire to live. So but as Albert Camus again says, he's here, and he says that we are born, so we are not completely guilty. We didn't decide to be born, so we are not completely guilty. But we decided to continue to live, so we are not entirely innocent. But the question is, I'm not sure what's going to happen after death. So I'm not going to risk it. It's not, I don't believe in gambling. So when you encounter with an empty inside, the story of the book, that you feel empty inside, why do you feel that? Do you need medication, a psychologist, psychiatrist? That might help, that might not help, I don't know. But it's good to do a counseling and don't feel lonely, because loneliness and solitude is extremely toxic. Huge extent of loneliness and solitude. Being okay and getting along with your solitude is beautiful, but to some extent. I think if you pass a certain level of solitude and loneliness, it's become very lethal for your soul, for your character, and it's extremely hard to get along with life. And it's very possible that people, they don't get understood. And there are two problems. First is lack of competence and ability and talents, or that ability to capability to express yourself emotionally and rationally to someone else and it grab their attention. This is the first thing, which is not easy, because when you're depressed or you're feeling empty inside, like how the heck you gonna attract someone in a world that is based on capitalism and money and sex, and everyone is searching for power like an animal. The second problem is the stupidity of other people. They lack emotional intelligence. They lack rationality. They're just consumed with consumerism, consumed with money and jobs. They're bullshit jobs, and that's useless jobs that can be replaced by a robot or an LLM or an AI algorithm. And they're so obsessed that their job is important. Because as Bernard Shaw said, that the meaning of life is whatever that you keep doing, and it stops you from asking the question, what is the meaning of life? It means, for example, I'm a painter. When I paint, I'm not a painter, but let's say I'm a painter. I'm an artist. When I do art, I stop asking myself this question, that what is the meaning of life? So this is the meaning of life. Painting, for example, for me. So that's how it is. And unfortunately, the people of the world, they're just consumed with money and sex, and that's it, nothing else. And you shouldn't expect anyone to give you a hand, to understand you when you're in pain. There's no camaraderie in this world. Even communists, they don't understand what being a comrade is. They're full of ego. Not any better or worse than imperialists or capitalists. There's no comrade in this world. It's a fact. Go and join the talks and discussions of communists or the leftist, political orientated people. They're just full of themselves. I know Marx, you don't know Marx. I know Marx better than you. Like a bunch of idiots. Emotionally retarded people who think that communism and socialism, this is about how how to impose your ego on other people, and metaphorically in a debate, which person has a bigger penis. Unfortunately, that's the reality of life defined by people, stupid people. So that's it. I don't love talking just for talking. I love thinking. And I love bringing up my ideas in a stupid world that is ruled by money and sex. You want to know what money and sex is? Go to Dubai. or Saudi Arabia, this kind of places. The culture majoritively is based on money and sex. They don't talk because they don't have anything to say, mostly. They have harems, 100 women. I don't know. Maybe that's the meaning of life to them, not to me. And so in this world, when you feel empty inside, and you put a mask of happiness just to attract people and divert like their attention, distract them, what's the remedy? A hand understanding each other. But the world tells us must be powerful. The only language that the world understands is power. It's not kindness. Kindness is a weakness, and it's not accepted in this world. It's the only language that the people understand you and makes people understand you and communicate with you is power, and nothing else. In any form that you can say, whether it's a diploma or whether it's money, or it's a position, a social status, it's a skin color, it's power and nothing else. So this book makes us think, not only plonger, creuser profondément, not just dive into a book emotionally and feel the pain of a man, but also makes us think about the world. So two sides. First, it's important to express yourself. Second, to find a society that I hardly think, I really think it doesn't exist, that they have compassion and humanity, because feeling the pain, when you feel pain, you're human. When you feel pain, you're alive. When you feel the pain of other people, you're a human being. There are no human beings left on this planet anymore. So it's very hard to find someone with compassion. You guys say, oh, go to a counselor. Like all the counselors, they are not emotionally available. They're not emotionally intelligent. They're like robots. So many of them, and some of them not. Depends. It's not that easy. And also, there's no healthcare in US. So, take it easy. Smart cookies.